yeah, it's Led Zeppelin again. That's all I had in the phone. So, it's the Just Enough Throw podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mika and Hana.
There she is. And we have just finished day 2 of CONvergence. Con, I never know. You think you're so clever. You put con at the front. We put con first. They don't say. And they put it first, and then you go, is it CONvergence con? Is it just simply CONvergence? Or if you say CVG, people think you have like an eye disorder.
It does kind of sound like that.
Yeah. Well, we just got through the second day, and you had a big day.
I did.
I had a big night.
Yes.
Tell people about your big day.
Yes. Well, let's see. I had a panel about everything is a cliche, including this panel.
A cliche?
A cliche?
Like a cliche?
A cliche,
yeah. Okay. What's a smooth fabric that's used sometimes in dressmaking?
Shut up. Lame.
Okay, well, now she does it right. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, great. Calling me on how I say words wrong sometimes.
A cliche?
It's a cliche, okay? And we talked about cliches and tropes and are they overused? Is there a good time to use them? That sort of thing. We covered a lot of stuff.
What'd you come up with?
We didn't really come up with anything definitive, unfortunately. It was more of a, a discussion of, something that came up was, a lot of things that people do nowadays is they find a trope and they subvert it. And...
you know what trope I want to see subverted?
What?
The villain gets caught on purpose.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with that one.
So, he gets captured. It's like, this is all part of my plan. Then, cling! He just spends the next 35 years in jail.
Yeah, right. Joker doesn't get out. His whole plan in Dark Knight is so elaborate. What if that guy had just died?
Yeah.
Before...
What if this? What if that?
I know.
Yeah, everybody always says that, but you know when that happened? Skyfall.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Skyfall is the Joker plan. And it's totally ridiculous. And a lot of things do go wrong, and yet it still all works out perfectly.
Yeah.
That old lady gets killed in the church by the blonde Mexican.
Just as he planned.
Yes.
I hate that movie.
I don't love it.
Yeah, but I did mention that one trope I'm just done with is women in refrigerators or fridging. And someone in the audience asked if I could explain that.
What?
Yep.
Give them the URL, move on.
Well, I told them, I did go into it a little bit, because I have my notes, and, I said, it's a website created by a comic creator, Gail Simone, and I should have plugged...
25 year ago.
I know, in the 90s, and I should have plugged our episode in which we went into depth about it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bad trope. Not plugging your trope episode about tropes.
I know. But I did talk about where it originally, that she coined that phrase and why, from the Green Lantern comic that it comes from.
Yes.
But I'm done with that. And I kind of, somebody else had brought up the trope of a woman can't go out on having an adventure unless somebody in her family had been killed or there's a threat to her family or she's been attacked or raped or something like that.
What?
I don't know. Apparently it's something like in fiction,
These are all of our favorite tropes, right? My favorite trope is rescue sex.
No, I mean, it's our least favorite and our favorite tropes. So,
what else do you do?
Okay, so... then I modded my first panel, the Mandalorian fan panel, and I think that went really well. There are only 2 panelists on it. One of whom was a huge Boba Fett fan and had, is a little bit, I shouldn't say a little bit, more versed in Star Wars than I am. So I was very thankful for that. And I think it went really well. I think we had a good conversation. We had a good amount of questions, and people seemed to like it. So I think that went really well. And then I had the MCU retrospective, where we talked about MCU, like all the films, and even the Disney Plus shows. And I think the highlight for me was when I mentioned MODOK, and somebody in the audience was like, MODOK is awesome. So, and I did plug our episode when we talked about MODOK.
Yeah, it came out recently.
Yes, it did. So that's what I did. What did you do today?
Oh, nothing.
That's not true.
I didn't have anything until 10 p.m., which is when my Enterprising Individuals live panel happened. And we had a bunch of guests, and I had an ice cream sundae, and it was good. A bunch of guests. We talked about Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, a movie that is thought of as the worst Star Trek film.
Yes.
Of course, last year we talked about Star Trek Nemesis, in my opinion, a far worse film. And I don't think the audience was there to play. I think that they were there to hear us beat up on Star Trek V, and unfortunately, I didn't plan it this way. But you know, I did plan this. My goal was to redeem it a little bit, as we tend to do to the bad films.
Yes.
And the panel was on board, and even the one guy who was a anti-Cybok, Cybok hater, was kind of on board at the end. Audience, not so much.
So you got the panel on your side, but not the audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what it's all about. I should have the audience be at the table and the panel be in the audience. But that's what we did. We live streamed it. It's available on our Twitch TV/JustEnoughTrope. We'll also be reposting it. No, we're not going to be. Well, it'll be up on our feed, on the Patreon feed, the live actual podcast.
Yes.
The video will probably repurpose, clip it up a little bit, and then put it somewhere or other. But yeah, glad to do it. But I'm definitely doing First Contact or something fun next year.
I think that's fair.
The fact that 5 minutes of my Star Trek V panel was devoted to talking about Star Trek First Contact means there's a thirst for that, I think.
I guess. I mean, I guess there's something to be said about, like, you never know what the audience is expecting, but I guess they were hoping you were going to bag on it.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, you did. I think that it went well, and I enjoyed it. I was on your side, and if I was, so I would have asked questions if I had any, but I guess I didn't have any.
Well, we were just too thorough and complete with all of our discussion and facts giving.
That's what it was. That's totally what it was. You just gave too many well thought out answers.
Facts giving is when the email sat down with the teletypes, right, and had a big meal.
Yes, and let's see. What do they have?
No, you don't have to add to that.
Okay.
That's okay. What's going on tomorrow for you?
Yes, another full day tomorrow. I'm doing a Batman movie face-off at 9:30 in the morning. The perfect time for the man who likes to come out late.
Kind of seems like he's Cockman.
Yeah.
Like a rooster.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So check if there's any kids before you use that one.
Yeah, I probably won't use that one, but and then I'm modding 2 more panels. The Great British Bake Off fan panel. And
I love that. Do I say modding a panel? Do I use that as a verb? It sounds like you're like lowering the chassis and you're putting a spoiler on the panel.
Oh, am I using that incorrectly?
No,
I don't even know.
Probably say that. It just makes me think of custom cars.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna mod this one. I'm gonna put 22s on it, probably. Sound system.
I soup it up pretty good.
Supercharger.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure that Paul Hollywood approves.
It's gonna play God Save the Queen when you hit the horn. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, right. And also the mental illness in media. panel as well.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Was that it?
That is right. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we'll get into, like, is it portrayed well? When is it portrayed well? How? And when is it portrayed poorly? And we'll kind of,
The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, done well.
But the Dark... Okay, here's a tip. Here's a preview from tomorrow's panel.
Yeah.
The Joker is not insane. And they really run with that in The Dark Knight. Could a person who is dealing with the kind of problems, mental problems, and issues that he has, do all of this stuff? Make all the plans. Be somebody who can deal with, his organization, the criminals, outsmart the cops, persuade people to do things, to act against their own best interest. I mean, you could say he's like a super high-functioning, narcissist, borderline, like, super god.
Yeah, I think you could say that.
Or he's just not, there's nothing wrong with him. And it's kind of played for laughs in Dark Knight, but, when he goes to the meeting of the crime family boss guys,
yes,
they're like, this freak's crazy. And he's like, I'm not crazy. I'm not.
Yeah.
And they kind of play it like he's really offended by the idea that he might be. But, I don't know. I think he just kind of isn't, right? He's giving the game away.
I guess.
Wow, this is going to be a great panel. I can't wait. Anything else?
Oh, wow. I just was kind of trying to think about that, because it's not as if anybody is diagnosed with
have
anything
the thoughts
specific.
ready before the panel. What am I doing tomorrow? I don't even know.
You are doing a bad movie panel.
Oh, yeah.
And your David Lynch fan panel.
Oh, some would say the same panel.
Or which I think is called Wow, Lynch, wow.
I don't know who that was. I think that was David Lynch. I don't think I've ever heard him use the word wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I have either, but...
Wow. I don't know why these effing lights aren't ready yet. That's what he would say, wow.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, he's not mean. He just,
No.
He just wants what he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
He cares too much.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Wherever those are, just look them up, I guess. Is that it?
I think that's it. Are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah.
We'll see ya.
Insofar as we'll be a day closer to it being over, yes.
Okay.
I think I probably am.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, too. I still feel like I have to do stuff to get ready for my panels.
Boy.
So we'll see how that goes.
The thing about panels, it's easy. You know how to whistle, don't you?
Yeah.
You just put your lips together and you introduce everyone, their names and their pronouns.
Yes.
No, that was it. That was the kind of that was the joke.
Was it. Okay.
All right. Well, if you want to run this thing, you're welcome to. She laughs nervously, but really, shut this down.
Okay. Thanks everybody for joining us for CONvergence Day 2, and we will be back live for CONvergence Day 3.